It's hard to believe that Italian-based micro brand Venezianico have not made a titanium watch up until now. They use a lot of different materials for their watches, including tungsten carbide, but they've never used titanium, which is kind of weird. Up until now, they've finally come out with a titanium watch. It's a dive watch based on one of their most popular designs. It's in full titanium and it gets 300 meters of water resistance and a Swiss movement. I have one hands-on to show you guys. So without further ado, let's take a look at Venezianico's latest release in titanium. Venezianico have become a brand known for taking chances, using different materials, and of course, some really great dials as well. They are an Italian brand, and most of their watches are made in Switzerland. However, they do use other movements. I actually have one of their watches on my wrist today that uses a Miyota movement, and it makes it very thin. That's the reason why they went with it, but we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. This is their first titanium Neridae. So this is their dive watch. It is a Swiss dive watch. So you're getting a Swiss automatic movement inside. This gets a Sellita SW200. It's made out of titanium, so the entire watch is made out of titanium. The bezel insert, the case, the crown, the case back, including the buckle. They also made a specific strap for this watch, and I have to say, I am impressed with this strap. It's a textile rubber combination. Now, it's been done in the past, but what they did really well here is that it is thin. This is a 300-meter dive watch with a beautiful blue dial that goes really well with that titanium colored case. So it starts out at a very dark black almost. It's almost a black. I would say it's a very, very dark blue. You have a chapter ring, and that's actually where the indices are applied. So they float above the dial, just slightly above the dial. And then, of course, you have that fume pattern. So that fume pattern goes from a dark blue to a dark blue is what I would say. It's just a slightly lighter dark blue than the blue that is on the outside of the dial. I really like it. So when you look at it, it almost looks like a solid blue dial, but it's not. It's definitely a gradient dial. You have their logo that's applied at the 12 o'clock, right below that 12 o'clock position. You have beaver teeth for that 12 o'clock index, and you have stick index or rectangular index, whatever you want to call them, for the rest. Again, they are all applied and they get lume. You have fence post hands, those get lume as well. And then you have a long seconds hand. It's like a needle seconds hand. I don't know if there's any lume on there. I don't think there is, but we will do a lume shot towards the end of the video. Right above the 6 o'clock position, it says the name of the watch, and then right below that, Titanio. So it's in titanium. That is titanium in Italian. Even though I am of Italian heritage, I cannot speak Italian, so please forgive me. One cool thing about this is that they decided to lume the bezel. Usually with Venezianico, they do as much as they can with the lume. And of course, this is getting a titanium bezel, so they decided to lume the bezel, which I really love. You get a screwing crown, screwing case back. The case back on this watch is beautiful. There is I think it's the god Titan, and he's holding the earth on his shoulders. It looks really cool. And the rest of the case back is beautiful. You have a very nice case back on here. There is polishing, brushing, bead blasting, but it looks really good. I hope they continue this case back on other models. It is a little bit hollowed out. You have these drilled holes. It looks fantastic. Here's the strap, by the way. Look how thin that is. It is a thin strap, and I like that. Usually rubber straps, really thick, bulky. This is not. It almost feels as thin as a regular leather strap. It looks really good. It actually looks like a fabric strap, but you have that rubber backing. So you could use this in the water. You can go diving with this, swimming with this, shower with it, and you'll have absolutely no problems. The fabric on the outside of it is basically a nylon fabric, so that can get wet and you'll have no issues. This is a 42 millimeter watch. It wears a little bit bigger than that because you have those crown guards. It wears like a 42.5 millimeter watch, I guess. I don't think it wears all that big. It is also thin, so it's around 12 millimeters thick. That's because you're getting a Sellita SW200 inside. You are getting 300 meters of water resistance. So when you consider that, that thickness is very thin for what you're getting, 300 meters of water resistance. Usually Watches with 200 meters of water resistance are thicker, so that is excellent. You're getting a flat sapphire crystal with AR coating on the front, and you're getting around a 48 millimeter lug to lug, and that is a true lug to lug. Obviously, there is no bracelet on this. Crown is 6.8 millimeters. On my wrist today is a fabulous watch released by the brand last year. This is the purple dial version. It's their integrated bracelet watch. Really nicely made, kind of reminds you of a Parmigiani. You have that texture on the dial. This is the purple. It looks fantastic on my wrist. This is just a great watch and a thin watch because you're getting that Miyota movement inside. So it is very thin and really good looking. No seconds hand on here. This is all about the elegance, and they really pulled this off. And there is the watch on my 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 42 millimeter watch. It wears a hair over that because you do get those crown guards. You're getting 300 meters of water resistance with a thickness of around 12 millimeters. You can see it wears very thin to the wrist for a watch with 300 meters of water resistance. You also get a 48 millimeter lug to lug. So it is a true lug to lug because this is not currently offered on a bracelet. You get a large crown at 6.8 millimeters. So really nicely sized, really nicely proportioned. It is on the larger side, so they do offer two sizes of their dive watches. So this is the larger version. I eventually think that they would come out with this in a smaller version as well. Right now, they're coming out with it in the 42 millimeter version, but I guess stay tuned. Really good looking. Let's check out the Lume. Well, there you go. There is Lume on the second hand. There's just a little sliver of Lume on there, but it's enough to see it in the dark so you can see that your watch is working in the dark. I very much like that. You get a Lume bezel, very liberally applied. Those indices, those hands, very liberally applied with Lume. Not disappointing at all. This looks great in the dark. You also get a date at the 3 o'clock. It is not color matched because it takes the place of the index at 3 o'clock, which balances out the index at 9 o'clock. So that makes a lot of sense to me as well. I think overall, this is a great design, very straightforward titanium dive watch that's good looking on the thinner side, considering you're getting 300 meters of water resistance. Very quickly, let's do some bezel action because I forgot to do that, and then we will talk about the price. Bezel action is really nice on here. Doesn't really feel like a titanium bezel. Usually titanium bezels are a little bit tinny. This does not feel tinny at all. It feels like a stainless steel watch, and that is a very good compliment for a titanium watch. Price on this watch is $1,095. So that is on the more expensive side for a watch that gets a titanium case and a Sellita SW200, but I don't think it's out of the ballpark. I think it's definitely worth the money. It's a really good looking watch that's really well made. I have to say, this is a very well-made watch. Venezianico have been making their watches better and better and better. Really nice finishing along the case. You have brushing and polishing. There's a nice polish edge on this. So they're doing some really nice things with these watches. Definitely feel luxurious. Tell me what you guys think though down in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of the pricing? What do you think of the look? What do you think of Venezianico? Tell me down in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. I'll add a link down below in the description to this watch. If you're interested, definitely check it out. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next video.